Okay, this is the Algebra 1 lesson 2.6, ratios, rates, and conversions. So we'll be finding ratios and rates, and then we'll be converting units and rates. So here is just a summary of what a ratio is. A ratio is comparison of two quantities by division. So you can write it three different ways. You can write 10 to 15, 10 with this colon 15, and then also 10 divided by 15 like a fraction. And then in algebra, you would use it the same way. A rate is a ratio that compares quantities in different units. And then a unit rate is a rate that has a denominator of 1. So examples of a unit rate would be a unit cost, or just when you're talking about one thing. What's the unit cost? What does it cost for one of these things? So the first problem we're going to have is when you're shopping, trying to figure out what's the best deal, right? If we have three different stores offering a deal if you buy more than one shirt, how do we know what the best deal is? And that's where this unit rate comes in, right? This denominator of 1. Well, how much does it cost for each t-shirt? Right? If you can compare, see, this is comparing 2 shirts, 4 shirts, and 3 shirts. You can't actually compare and just say, oh, this one must be the best deal because I'm only spending $25, but you're only getting 2 shirts, right? This one's $30 for 3 shirts. So the best way to compare, and this is great for actual real life, like when you're at the grocery store, they have the unit rate sometimes in the corner by the price. I always look at that to see what the best deal is, because it might be a bigger container, so a lot more money, but maybe you're getting more of that item for less per unit. So let's look at this per unit. So in this case, our unit would be 1 t-shirt. So if we have $25 for 2 shirts, we can just divide them, and 25 divided by 2 is going to be $12.50, right? So this is $12.50 for 1 shirt. So we would say $12.50 per shirt. Okay, and then this one would be 45 divided by 4, which is 11.25. So this is a better deal. And then this one is 30 for 3, which means each one is going to be 10. And then let's look and see which is the smallest, or the lowest price was going to be this $10 per shirt. So maybe we'll get shirts at store C. So this is the best deal. But also in real life, maybe you don't need 3 shirts. Maybe you really do only need 2 shirts. So here, if you only need 2 shirts, you're spending, maybe this is a better deal for you just because you don't need that extra shirt. So be careful about the best deals. Like also make sure that you actually need the stuff if you're buying a lot more for less. Okay, so let's move on to one for you to try. This is just a modification of this problem above. So store B is going to lower its price and see if that changes the solution. So press pause, try this on your own, and then check back for the answer. Okay, and maybe this was obvious. Maybe you didn't even have to press pause because you saw that this is what 40 divided by 4 would be 10. And that we already have a 10 per shirt. This is going to be 10.50 per shirt. So no, this doesn't change the answer. This is still the better deal. Okay, so moving on to conversions. So to convert one unit to another, such as feet to inches, you need a conversion factor. So conversion factor is a ratio of 2 equivalent measures in different units, such as, so if we know that 1 foot equals 12 inches, you could write it as a factor or a fraction, right? Like 1 foot over 12 inches. These are the same thing. So you're dividing the same thing. So this factor is also equivalent to 1, right? 1 foot divided by 12 inches. They're both the same thing. So this is actually just the same as the number 1. You'll see how this helps us in converting. So problem 2 says, what's the given amount converted to the named unit? So if we have 330 minutes and we want to know, well, how many hours is that? We're going to use a conversion factor. So what we first need to know is how many minutes are in an hour. This stuff I'm not making you memorize. I will tell you. Hopefully most of you know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, but you won't have to memorize that stuff. So the conversion factor is going to be some combination of the 60 minutes and this 1 hour. And to figure out which way to do it, we're going to write down what we have. We know that we have 330 minutes. Okay, but we want hours. So we're going to be multiplying by a fraction. This is my conversion factor. Remember, this is going to be equivalent to 1. So this doesn't change the number. Whenever time you multiply something by 1, it doesn't actually change the value. And so we're going to, but we want to be careful about is minutes. So if we have minutes, we want to get rid of minutes. So you're going to put the minutes on the bottom. And we want hours, so you're going to put hours on the top. And this is basically happens is, you multiply by minutes, divide by minutes, the minutes are going to cancel. and then you're going to be left with hours. So then you just need to take your numbers here. We have 60 minutes, so put the 60 with the minutes, and 1 hour, put the 1. So this is still equivalent to 1. You're multiplying 330 minutes times 1 hour divided by 60 minutes, and you're going to multiply across. And we can put this little invisible 1 since we're multiplying by a fraction. Remember, when you multiply by fractions, you just multiply the tops or the numerators, and you get 330 times 1. And then we have our 1 hour. Actually, let's worry about units after. Okay, 330, and then the bottom is 60. So 330 divided by 60, we get 5.5. And our minutes have canceled, and we're left with hours. So 5.5 hours is 330 minutes. Okay, so let's check this again with another example, or let's do this again with another example. Kilograms to grams. Well, kilo means 1,000, so 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. And then, so we have 15 kilograms. We're going to multiply by a conversion factor that is equivalent to 1. We have kilograms. We want to get rid of kilograms, so we're going to put those on the bottom. And we want grams, so we're going to put that on the top. And then we have 1,000 grams. We're going to put that next to the grams, and then 1 kilogram. Okay, and now when we multiply across, we have 15 times 1,000, which is 15,000. And then we just have 1 on the bottom. Our kilograms are going to cancel, and we're just left with grams. So this is 15,000 grams. Okay, so try these next 3 on your own. I will give you the unit, the equivalency, right? Centimeters means 100 centimeters. Centa is 100, so 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. Pounds and ounces. I'm going to look this one up. I think it's 16 ounces in 1 pound. Let's guess. Let's see. Yes, okay, I was right. 16 ounces equals 1 pound. And then this one has 3 different units, right? Hours and minutes. So let's see, still the same, 60 minutes, minutes equals 1 hour. Okay, just be careful with this one, right? Because it's 6 hours and 45 minutes, and they want to know hours. Okay, so press pause, try these on your own, and then check back for the solution. Okay, so this one you just divide this by 100, and you get 12.5. This one you multiply by 16, and you get 176. And then this one, I just dealt with the 45 minutes, and then since 6 hours was already in hours, I just ignored it and added it at the end, and I just converted 45 minutes to hours, which is 0.75 hours, added it to the 6, and we have 6.75 hours. Okay, moving on. This is the last one, nice. Okay. The CN Tower in Toronto, Canada is about 15 feet tall. How many meters tall is the tower? And then use the fact that 1 meter is 3.28 feet. So this is just the same thing we're doing, just in a word problem. We have 1,815 feet. We need to multiply by a conversion factor that is equivalent to 1. We want to get rid of feet, so feet is on the bottom. We want to change it to meters, so we're going to put meters on the top. And our conversion is we have 1 with the meter, 3.28 with the feet. My feet are going to cancel. If we multiply across, we get 1815 divided by 3.28 meters, and that is 1815 divided by 3.28. About how many meters tall? It's about 553. We'll just round to the nearest meters tall. Okay. These just take practice. And if you just try to do them the same every time, we get the hang of it. Try this next one on your own. Be careful here. It is sprint feet per second. They want to know the speed in miles per hour. So you're needed to switch to feet to miles and seconds to hour. Actually, let's do this one together. I remember this one from last year, and this one drove everyone crazy. So we'll just do this one together. So first of all, we need a couple of different things. Let's write what we have. We have 100 feet in 3.1 seconds. Okay, so let's first get rid of the feet. Okay, we're going to multiply this by a conversion factor that's going to get rid of feet, and we want it to be in miles. So how many miles are in a feet? In a foot? How many feet are in a mile? I think it's 5280 in 1 mile. I'll double check. Yes, I was right. Okay, so then my feet cancel. Okay, and let's multiply across. We have now 100 miles in, 3.1 times 5280 in 16,368 seconds. Okay, but we don't want seconds. We want hours per hour. But we want hours on the bottom. So we want to get rid of the seconds. So we're going to multiply by a conversion factor that's equivalent to 1. That gets rid of seconds from the bottom. So we want seconds on the top now, right? Because they will cancel. And we want hours. But let's do minutes because minutes will get us to hours. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, and so now we can multiply across. 100 times 60 is 6,000. So 6,000, and we have miles. And then 16,000, this stays 16,368 minutes. Okay, so now we're doing 6,000 miles in 16,368 minutes, but we want, let's rewrite this, we want hours. So we want to get, this is miles per minute, we want to get rid of minutes, so we're going to put minutes on the top, since minutes here is on the bottom. In hours we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. My minutes are going to cancel. Multiply across 6,000 times 60. This is 360,000 miles in 16,368 hours. And let's actually just divide those now. Divided by 16,368, and we get about 22. So 22 miles per hour. And does that make sense? Sure. Okay. So that's my answer. Don't worry about this one. Hopefully you followed it. If not, don't worry about it. I think I did put this on the test as extra credit. So, but it's really helpful in understanding how to make these things work. Okay, time for practice. Enjoy.